Colton Powell goes God mode as Bolt yells, "Run a Safa," pushing him to his limits. Is this the best relay of all time?
When I saw that video, I had this idea of NVIDIA representing Bolt in this scenario of the AI race, running up behind Palantir as depicted in that short video and saying, "Run, Asafa, run." We know that Palantir absolutely had record-breaking earnings here, and the stock's been richly rewarded as the price has surged all the way up above $100. And it was just somehow I got this picture of Asafa representing Palantir sprinting across the finish line with incredible success that had been buoyed on by the success that we all saw NVIDIA have in 2023 and 2024. And it was recorded that Palantir eviscerated this earnings event. And it did something that I know Wall Street loves to see, which is revenue, profit acceleration. That's when Wall Street gets excited because they then can load up, pile in, and get a hold of a shooting star, right? I'm going to take you into the chart and we're going to analyze and discuss where exactly Palantir is going next now that they've essentially won this earnings race and shown everybody what they're capable of doing. Where does the price action go? And then we're going to talk about how that is a reflection or part of NVIDIA's success. And we see that down the road here in February, we've got NVIDIA's earnings. And right now, NVIDIA doesn't look like a winner. NVIDIA investors are saying, hey, what about us? But personally, I think Palantir's success is painting a picture of NVIDIA's success. And I think that NVIDIA is the one that got Palantir to this point by producing the technology that they were able to use. And I talked about this early in 2024, that Palantir was obviously selling in the depiction of the gold mine scenario. They were the ones selling the picks and the shovels, but there was going to be companies out there that bought those picks and shovels and struck gold. Well, clearly Palantir is one of them. How does all of this work together? Well, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Palantir's chart. We're going to look at NVIDIA's chart. And there's actually another big tech company that we have to talk about that's actually going to play a role in NVIDIA's success. And all of that success is going to be circular because AI is just pouring into all of these companies and producing bigger and more profitable companies. We got to look at Google. They're reporting earnings after the market closes today. And there's a bunch of NVIDIA investors that are going to be carefully listening to what Google says about their investment in NVIDIA chips. If there is a commitment, or even better, a increase in guidance as to the investment to the AI story, then it's going to cause NVIDIA stock to pop tomorrow. But let's just talk about the fact, what if they say they're going to slow down on their CapEx spending? Well, that's obviously going to cause NVIDIA stock to drop. But this is the moment in time that we've been waiting for, because the AI story, as depicted in Palantir's success, isn't going anywhere. And they're going to constantly be coming back to NVIDIA for more picks and more shovels because gold is getting discovered right now. And it is a modern day AI gold rush. And they're going to continue to need the products that NVIDIA is selling. And then someone's going to say to me, Josh, but what about DeepSeek? Didn't they crush the NVIDIA story? And the answer is no, because that was yesterday's news. 24 hours after that, Alibaba came out and said, we're doing it better than DeepSeek. And we're going to continuously see this one-up dynamic in all of these companies in this AI race. And all of it's going to continually come back to NVIDIA. It's going to come back to NVIDIA's earnings. And they're going to continue, in my opinion, to show that they are the ones who are driving the success of all of these companies with their incredible innovation and their incredible products. And then someone's going to say, what about the tariffs, Josh? Isn't the tariffs going to bring the whole thing down? And I've told you guys, no. I like AMD and Intel because I believe that Donald Trump is very much pro-America first agenda, is going to cause investment and opportunities to flow into those companies, and tariffs can begin to potentially give them an advantage in the coming days. But I know something. Donald Trump met with the CEO of NVIDIA, and he said, like he always says, it's a good meeting. Those are good guys, real smart people. And the fact is, he knows that if America is going to win in this particular race, they need NVIDIA. They can't do it without NVIDIA. Matter of fact, I remember when NVIDIA first started taking off in 2023, when the CEO said, "You guys need us." We literally are the foundation of the future. It was a very bold and audacious statement. And as we watched Palantir cross the finish line of $100 today, I'm reminded that he said it, and I'm reminded that he was right. Okay, let's take a quick peek into the Palantir chart, and then we got to look at the NVIDIA chart, and then we're going to wrap this show up. But I want to just thank you for showing up. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for hitting the like. Thank you for dropping a heart. Say hi in the comments. I want to briefly shout out my pro trading community, Stocks with Josh Discord, the Chart Goat University. It's a place where you can come to learn how to chart better. It's a place where I drop daily trade setups, and I have a host of crown traders that do everything from penny stocks to crypto, to degen crypto, to long-term investing. I've got folks over there providing an enormous amount of value. It's also a very positive community. And the website that you have to go to is the same name as the show. It's www.stockswithjosh.com. Come check it out for yourself and get over there so tomorrow you can get the hot trade setups that I give. Today's hot trade setup was Google for entering calls as the price moved above a particular price threshold and it ran straight up. A few moments later, I let everybody know that I was locking in some profits. Now, I've also been saying that these stocks are taking the stairs up, but whenever there's bad news, they take the elevator down. And so you've got to have a strategy to your investing. And you've got to consider whether a company is prime for long-term investment or whether or not we're peaking out in a blow-off top at the end of the move. And I'm going to take you into the Palantir chart and give you some clues to my logic on how I'm going to be adding to my Palantir position in the days ahead. Let's go take a look at it. Just on January 3rd, so just a handful of days ago, when the price was right here, I pointed out that we were in a megaphone pattern with a point of control back here at 75, that the megaphone had been confirmed by a couple touches on the top and a couple touches on the bottom, and that my next expected move was a move up here to around $95 to $105, and we hit that right on. Now, I want to be clear that I think that we can consolidate and continue to climb higher in this range. And so I'm not calling for anybody to sell their Palantir, and as of this moment, I haven't sold any of my long-term Palantir. But let's snap another line here. You can see that there is some additional areas of support and resistance right around this line I just drew. One of the stronger price points in there was created right here around $80. Now, if we continue to ride the top of this line as resistance and we continue to trend higher, I think that's wonderful because I'm going to talk to you about the analyst price ranges here in a minute. However, if we break beneath this ascending bearish channel, then we need to be mindful that a stop loss could save us a pretty strong downturn. Now, before I go any further in this chart, I want to briefly comment on the move that this stock has gotten. This stock in 2022 was $6. It was under $6. It's up today 1,700%. An incredible reminder about holding your winners longer. Okay, it's an incredible reminder for all of us. I had leaps in 2024 on this in addition to shares, and right around $60, I sold those leaps, and oh, how I wish I had been adding to my position and not selling it. But this is still a company that's worth holding, and there's no downturn at hand. And again, with a move like we saw today, I wouldn't be in a hurry to sell. But you do want to assess a stop loss, and you want to be able to identify, well, if this were to pull back, where could it pull back to? And remember, it's up in under 3 years. It's up just under 2,000%. It's up 27% today. And so a lot of success has been priced in. Matter of fact, let's talk about analysts' price predictions. On the high end, analysts are saying that this thing could go up to around $117. And the low range, I believe, is right around $80 to $85. Okay. And so the average range is right around $102. And so for a lot of analysts, they're saying to you today, well, the price hit our high target. It's above our high target. It's above the average target at least. And so this is where people are going to say, well, I bought this at 6. I bought this at 20. I'm going to take some profit. There will be profit taking. But for as long as we see the price consolidating in this upper range, I wouldn't be in a hurry to sell. I would, though, consider where I put my stop loss. And if this broke down, the area that I would most likely feel comfortable buying more is going to be what was the significant or last previous resistance before we got the breakout, because what used to be resistance in the future becomes support. So let's go find that in the chart. Okay, so that, you guys, I told you before, point of control is 75. So I'm just going to tell you right now, for as long as we stay above 75, this is a bull story. I'm not predicting that we'll break beneath 75, but if we ever broke beneath $75, then something has gone wrong and it could come back to 60 and then one day to $53. Those are some areas of support. At the moment, this is a bull story and it's trying to catch a tiger by the tail. Let's talk about previous resistance. So previous resistance is largely going to be right at this $80 range. I'm going to mark it at $82. And I'm going to give you guys a long-term investment range. So again, I want to be very clear. I'm not predicting a move back to $82. This is in an upswing, and this thing could continue to swing up all of 2025 and 2026. It might only ever in the future come back to around $90. Right now, this thing is a rocket ship, okay? So you want to watch for a break of this ascending channel. The ascending channel would be a break anywhere along this line that I drew, this squiggly line. Anywhere below that line, that would be a break of the current uptrend. At the moment, the uptrend is consolidating in that range. A pullback area that we're probably going to see at bare minimum is 90. But the historic support, and this is good for those who are trying to learn trading and long-term investing, the historic support range is this $82 right now. It is resistance here. It was resistance here. It was resistance here, and it was resistance here. And as I said a moment ago, what previously was resistance, it can become support and a place where it bounces in the future. So I would only say that $82 is a reality if 90 broke, and I'm not predicting a downturn. I'm telling you that if you really take a step back and you look at this stock, it's been doing nothing but trending higher. And so we've got to give it the benefit of the doubt that it's going to continue to go higher. And so I'm not really in a hurry right now to sell this stock. However, I will put stop losses in beneath that ascending channel. And if it does get stopped out, then I will assess it then. I see it currently trending higher because why? The AI story is not going away. It's super, super strong. And Palantir is giving you a heads up on NVIDIA. And we're going to get another heads up on NVIDIA through Google's earnings tonight. You need to be watching that one. Let's take a quick peek at NVIDIA, and I'll let you know what I'm doing with that stock as well. NVIDIA is in a buy zone for me. You guys see the drawing on the chart already. So we've got a couple lines here, and we're making, these are all bullish because this is a descending channel for the most part that eventually we will test the top of the channel and we will potentially break out and continue higher. As everybody realizes, AI story isn't going anywhere, and NVIDIA is like Bolt. It's the fastest runner in that story. So that is the story that I'm telling today, and that's the story that I personally believe. Now, let's go look at this a little bit. I've been a buyer here locally since 117, since 114, and I'm just going to highlight to you that the most attractive spot on this entire chart would be this 108. And I hope that we get it, okay? Because if I don't get this one more breakdown to 108, then it means I'm going to be forced to buy. My next buy zone would be a break above this 150-day moving average. Let me double check that. Yep, 150-day moving average. That would be my third buy stage. But my third buy stage, if we continue down, is right here at $108. So that's obviously where I would love to load up. And I'm going to buy, I bought, we'll call it my first initial position there. My second position was bigger than my first. And this third position will be bigger than the first and the second. That's the proper strategy of DCAing. You don't want to load the boat on buy one and then be unable to make a big difference in your moving average price by buying significantly less on the final dip. Personally, I believe that we've got earnings ahead of us on NVIDIA, and I would be very surprised if we don't test this bullish descending line of resistance right here, somewhere between 130 and 140. Now, let me just share something with you guys. If, just like Palantir, NVIDIA comes out stronger than everybody was imagining it would be, I'll give you a clue as to the indication that we're actually going to get into an all-time high in the first quarter of 2025. And that's if we can actually get above this price point. So what the stock would need to do would be to need to get up to around 150, which means that it would make a higher high. What we don't want to see is for it to come up into this range and make a lower high. Then it would mean that the down move is still in play. Okay, it means it's not over. It doesn't mean that we'll break much lower than 108 or 114. It just means that we're not ready for an up move. So personally, this is my buy zone on NVIDIA. Okay, the big test comes when we begin to get back up here at the top of the range, where we're either going to make a lower high or a higher high. And a higher high means that in 2025, we're going to go on to make a much higher high. So that's the view of NVIDIA. I'm an excited investor in NVIDIA today. I'm looking at Palantir's success, and I think to myself, that's absolutely tied to the success of NVIDIA. They're the bolt in that story, the one that did the fast running, passed the baton, and said, "Run, Asafa, run." So I love that clip. It's a great clip of showing people performing at their top level of excellence, motivating each other. And that's what I hope to do in the Stocks with Josh community, is to both help you, get behind you, encourage you, and motivate you to reach and go faster than you've ever gone before, and to reach higher levels of success than you've ever achieved before. Come over and check it out. It's a great community. Come and trade with me, trade with the Crown Traders. I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for making it this far in the video. Please hit that like. It causes the video to get fed out to more people. Appreciate you. I'll see you over in the Discord. Hit the like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.